K-content set in schools is capturing the attention of audiences around the world. From fierce competition and school violence to mystery and even horror. These stories are portraying classrooms in various new ways. And it almost feels like Korean school dramas have now established themselves as a major genre of their own. Now today, we're joined by culture critic Chie Hye-won, professor of Kyung Hee University, to take a closer look at this growing phenomenon. Welcome back, Professor T.
Hello, Professor.
Hello, good afternoon.
All right, Professor T, I hope you like the school look that Walter and I are trying out today.
I loved it. I love it.
We're going to try we're trying to be extra respectful today, Professor. And we're going to start with 참교육, or teach you a lesson. So although you teach university students, I don't know how much personally you relate to the story, but what were your thoughts on this drama, Teach You a Lesson? I mean, it's been huge around the world already.
That's right. Personally, I really enjoyed watching Teach You a Lesson, 참교육. So it is a work that which already gained immense popularity and critical acclaim as a webtoon. So I think with the recent surge in international interest in Kcontent, I think it is one of those cases that the core strength of the original story have successfully resonated with the much wider audiences globally. And personally, on a personal note, I was truly impressed by the performance of the actor Kim Moo-yeol, who played Na-hwa-jin. So as he perfectly embodied the character, I think. And especially as I've been watching his acting since his days on the stages, musical stages, over like 20 years ago. So I consider this is a work where Kim Moo-yeol's acting truly shined and have reached the full maturity. And I think every single people love the Na-hwa-jin's acting in 참교육.
Yes, count me in there as well.
Okay.
Now, we know that these Korean school dramas aren't anything that's just happened overnight. In fact, we've had years, I think every year we come out with a very good Korean school drama, in my opinion. But there were landmarks in the Korean school genre drama series. Can you name any that stick out to you?
That's right. I believe the history of Korean school drama genre have evolved alongside the shift in how the school is perceived within the Korean society. So KBS's school series 학교, which began in 1999, so can be considered the starting point of this genre. So at the time, schools were portrayed as the spaces for youth and for personal growth. So the narrative centered on themes such as the friendship, first love, teacher-student relationship, and the concerns regarding career path or the university, the entrance exam, 수학능력 시험, 수학능력 평가. So later, a series like Boys Over Flowers, 꽃보다 남자, or Dream High gained widespread the popularity and broadened the genre's scope. And however, the environment shifted, the school dramas began to change as well. So School 2013 offered a more realistic portrayal of issues such as school violence and the teacher authority and the actual classroom environment. And while Who Are You? School 2015 blended the theme of school violence with the mystery genre. And furthermore, Sky Castle, which is a smash hit, depicted the Korean education system itself. So by highlighting the fierce competition for university admissions and the issues of the private education, demonstrating that school dramas could serve as a mirror reflecting society. And moreover, the OTT era has expanded the boundaries of the genre. All of Us Are Dead, 지금 우리 학교는 combined the school setting with a zombie story, and the weak hero, 약한 영웅, and Teach You a Lesson explored themes of the school violence, power structure, and the pursuit of the justice through the intense action-driven narratives.
All right, let's go a little deeper into these changes that you mentioned. So in the past, you mentioned there were themes like first love, relationships, and coming of age themes.
Right.
But now we're seeing a kind of miniature society inside these K school dramas. So let's talk about that shift first. Why do you see this happening?
Right. We just mentioned the themes of K-drama set in schools have constantly evolved over time. So I believe the primary reason of this shift is not so much that the school themselves have changed, but rather the society's perspectives on schools has changed. So, and the story of a school drama is not merely set in school, while the plot centers on the event within the school. It actually addresses the frustrations shared by many in real-world society and feeling that justice is not functioning properly. So, consequently, the recent school themes, dramas, and films do not treat the school merely as a backdrop that rather utilize it as you just mentioned, a miniature of the society. Moreover, many international audiences are increasingly interested in the works that address the realistic issues, social issues, and rather than just a simple relationship or romance. So since the schools are setting experiences universally across the different countries, so the stories rooted in Korean society can still resonate with viewers all over the world.
Right. Actually, I think it was this week we talked about Teach You a Lesson, and I mentioned the fact that it's also bringing up actual social talk in Korea for, educational change, and the misbehaving students, also the parents, and also the teachers as well. So Korea is really looking for a way to fix that. But you first mentioned in my earlier question a lot of realistic sort of situations, talking about society, talking about, love relationships and everything. But these days as well, it's actually sort of changed. It's kind of seeing the realistic side as sort of a completely different side where now zombies are a very big hit, or ghosts, or intense battles, or whatever. Why do you think the schools have become such a versatile setting that blends so naturally with different genres?
Right, like so realistic or like a fantasy world in school, right? So I believe this is because the school is a setting that is both deeply familiar and capable of hosting as the incredibly wide range of stories. Schools are already home to a diverse cast characters and a clearly defined relationship, like with the friends and rival and teacher and students, as well as establish the rules and hierarchies so that conflict could arise naturally regardless of genre. So this is why everything from romance to zombie, horror, action, and thriller stories feels convincing within a school setting. So because audiences are already familiar with the school environment, and I think they can easily immerse themselves in the story, even when the premise is highly unrealistic or fantasy. Yeah.
Now, Professor Ji, many other countries have their own popular teen dramas. I spoke about it with Walter before. Australia has their own teen hits. And also in Germany, I watched some of those as well. But what do you think makes Korean school dramas so unique?
Right. I believe the competitive edge of the Korean school drama lies in the balance between the realism and genre elements, as we just mentioned. So teenage dramas in many other countries often focus on personal stories, personal issues, themes like romance, the friendship, or the coming of age. But in contrast, as we just mentioned earlier, Korean school dramas go beyond individual issues, the individual growth narratives, to incorporate broader social issues such as education, competition, family dynamics, social class, and inequality as well. So while addressing social themes, Korean content skillfully integrate the conventions of popular genres such as action, thriller, mystery, and the zombie as well. So that this allows international viewers to gain insight into the reality of Korean society while simultaneously enjoying the entertainment value of the genre itself. So I believe the proper balance is the primary reason why the Korean school-based dramas are recognized by global audiences, not merely as youth contents, but the distinct genre in their own right.
Right, right. And like what's quite interesting is like a remarkable amount of these K school dramas are based from Webtoons. Now, obviously, many people in Korean public love Webtoons, but why do you think school stories actually perform particularly well in this sort of situation on Webtoon platforms? And do you think the successful screen adaptations are one of the reasons behind possibly the genre's popularity?
Yeah, I think the school setting is one of the themes that pairs best with the Webtoon platform. So because the Webtoon are serialized regularly and a strong conflict and a fast-paced narrative are crucial for maintaining the reader's interest for the Webtoons. So, and the school's idea for this format as they provide a setting where a new incident, such as peer rivalry, friendship, and a betrayal, or first love, or the school violence, everything. So it can be unfolded in every episode. So it could be maintained the reader's interest, the viewer's interest as well. And of course, since the most readers have experienced school life already, so they can easily immerse themselves in the emotions portrayed in the stories. And another important factor is that Webtoon serves as the platform for pioneering new ideas, experimental platform. So the Webtoon validate the quality of the work early on and through the reader's feedback. So the producers can find the stories from the Webtoon and producing and created a new contents on for the media format.
All right.
Yeah, just for 1 second, I really think Professor brought up a very good point where it's almost like reminiscing about when we were students. Like a large majority of us get that experience of going to school.
Right.
And even doesn't matter how old you are, your school experience is different. And to read content like that and to think back to your days, oh, I can relate to that, is a very good reason why it's so popular, I believe.
Right, that's
I had the same thought because you might think if you look at high teen dramas, why would adults be interested in that? But because they have these different genres in there and they have also their memories from schoolhood. Perfect for any age group to watch.
Right.
And but before we let you go, Professor Z, there are also some critics that say these days some K school dramas may be focusing too heavily on the darker side and the violence at schools. So what direction do you think this genre should take forward from here on?
Yeah, I agree with that point, that concerns to some extent. So school violence and the fierce competition for university admissions are certainly significant for social issues, and it is important for content to depict that reality. However, school life isn't defined only by those things. So there is also friendship and the personal growth and dreams and the warmth of the relationship, of course. So ultimately, school is a space where a wide array of emotions and experiences coexist. So especially for the younger generation. So I hope more other contents will also incorporate the stories of love or hope, recovery, and growth, and many other, for many other younger generations as well.
Right. Okay, thank you very much, Professor Z, for your insights as always, and see you next time.
See you next time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Walter. We're going to have you back here next week.
See you next week.